Maximum alert! Have you ever received a gift that instead of bringing joy, seemed to change your life for the worse? Some gifts are not just simple objects. They can destroy your destiny. Watch until the end, because at the end of this video, I will reveal a specific gift that many people receive without knowing it can bring irreversible tragedies. But first, you need to know the truth, and be careful. There are people who don't want you to discover this. Skeptics, those who mock these stories, want you to believe that all of this is just coincidence. But is it really? Imagine this. A young woman receives a beautiful necklace from a close friend. At first, everything seems normal, but days later, her health mysteriously starts to decline. She feels a constant weight on her shoulders, has terrifying nightmares, and without explanation, loses her job. Her boyfriend leaves her. And then, a terrible accident happens. All of this after receiving that gift. Coincidence? Or a silent curse acting in her life? Now tell me, where are you watching this video from? Write in the comments. I want to know who among you are the most attentive and will not be deceived by these cursed gifts. Stay with me until the end, because the last gift on this list will leave you speechless. And maybe you already have one of these at home. Throughout history, many cultures have believed that certain objects can carry negative energies, bringing bad luck, illness, and even ruin to those who possess them. In different parts of the world, there are reports of gifts that, instead of bringing happiness, mark the beginning of great tragedies. In ancient times, the Greeks feared objects offered by enemies or strangers, believing they could be filled with malicious intentions. The most famous example of this is the Trojan horse, a gift that actually led to the destruction of an entire city. In medieval Europe, it was believed that jewelry and ornaments inherited from kings and nobles could carry curses. The legendary Hope Diamond, for example, belonged to several historical figures who met tragic ends. It is believed that those who possessed this precious stone ended up suffering accidents, bankruptcies, and even mysterious deaths. In Japanese culture, there is fear regarding old dolls. Many legends tell of toys that over time seem to come to life or bring bad luck to their owners. One of the scariest cases is that of the Okiku doll, which is displayed in a temple in Japan. It is said that its hair continues to grow on its own, even without anyone touching it. In some African tribes, objects made by shamans or priests are considered extremely dangerous if given as gifts to unprepared people. They believe these artifacts can carry spiritual energies that directly influence the luck and destiny of the recipient. Another intriguing story comes from Russia, where there are reports of religious icons that were passed down as inheritance but brought misery and death to entire families. Some of these sacred images, despite being venerated, have been associated with a series of inexplicable misfortunes. These beliefs are not just ancient superstitions. To this day, many people report drastic changes in their lives after receiving certain gifts. But what is behind this? Is it just coincidence? Or do these objects really carry something dark? And you, have you ever received a gift that brought bad luck or strange events? Write in the comments. At the end of the video, I will reveal the most dangerous gift of all, and maybe you already have one of these at home without knowing it. Over the centuries, many objects have gained a reputation for bringing bad luck, whether due to real stories, popular beliefs, or simply frightening coincidences. Some cultures avoid giving certain gifts because they believe they can attract misfortune, cut ties, or even carry negative energies. Below, see some of the most feared items and the reasons why many people prefer to avoid them. Watches and knives, a gift that cuts relationships. In various traditions, gifting someone a watch is seen as a bad omen, especially in Chinese culture, where it symbolizes the countdown to death. Knives and sharp objects, on the other hand, are considered symbols of separation. Some say that giving a knife as a gift can cut the bonds of friendship or love between people, leading to fights and estrangement. To avoid this effect, some people symbolically pay for these items by giving a coin in exchange. Old mirrors, portals to the unknown. Many cultures believe that mirrors absorb the energy of those who use them, which means an old mirror may carry the essence of its previous owners, especially if they lived a life full of suffering or tragedies. In esoteric tradition, mirrors are considered portals between the world of the living and the dead, and some say that receiving a mirror as a gift can attract unwanted presences into the home. Dolls and statues, haunted objects. Stories of supposedly haunted dolls and statues are common in many parts of the world. Some legends speak of toys that move on their own, cause nightmares, and even bring unexplained illnesses to their owners. One of the most well-known cases is that of the Robert doll, which belonged to a boy in the early 20th century and was associated with mysterious events. Many people avoid giving dolls as gifts for fear that they may carry something more than just an innocent appearance. Jewelry inherited from deceased people, an invisible burden, rings, necklaces, and other jewelry that belong to deceased individuals are considered energy-charged objects. Some believe these items can retain the emotions and essence of their previous owners, especially if the person died tragically. There are stories of heirs who, after receiving family jewelry, began to experience inexplicable misfortunes. One of the most famous cases is that of the Hope diamond, which supposedly brought bad luck to all its owners. Money or an empty wallet, a gift that attracts poverty. Giving an empty wallet as a gift is seen as a symbol of financial scarcity. According to some beliefs, a wallet without money can attract economic difficulties for the recipient. That's why many recommend placing at least a small amount inside before gifting it to ensure prosperity follows the recipient. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever received any of these gifts and noticed something strange afterward? Watch until the end, because the last item on this list is the most dangerous of all, and maybe you already have it at home without knowing it. Mysterious cases and real stories, cursed objects that brought tragedies. Throughout history, there are countless reports of objects that seem to carry a dark fate, bringing misfortunes, illnesses, and ruin to those who possess them. These are not just superstitions. There are detailed records of people who received these items and had their lives destroyed in inexplicable ways. Now, get ready, because what you are about to hear may change the way you see the gifts you receive. The Hope diamond, beauty and misfortune in a single jewel. One of the most infamous jewels in the world is the Hope diamond, a stunning blue stone that, according to reports, has brought bad luck and tragedies to almost all of its owners. Originally stolen from a sacred statue in India, it is believed to carry a curse. The first known owner was Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a French merchant who acquired the diamond in the 17th century. Shortly after, he was attacked by wolves and died brutally. Years later, King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, who also owned the jewel, were executed during the French Revolution. Banker Simon Mountcherides, one of the diamond's owners, committed suicide. Jacques Collot, another owner, went insane before taking his own life. The diamond passed through many hands, always leaving a trail of tragedy. Today it is displayed at the Smithsonian Museum, but many believe its curse still lingers. The cursed chair of Thomas Busby. Whoever sits will die. In the 17th century, a criminal named Thomas Busby was sentenced to hanging for murdering his own father-in-law. Before his execution, he made a final request. He wanted to have one last drink of beer in his favorite chair, a simple wooden piece that he considered his throne. Before leaving, he cast a curse. Anyone who sat there would die soon. Time passed, and the chair remained in the same pub where Busby used to drink. Over the years, many people challenged the legend, and the results were terrifying. During World War II, soldiers who sat in the chair died in combat shortly afterward. A worker who stopped to rest in the chair suffered a fatal accident on the same day. Another man who merely touched it died in a car accident hours later. Fearing the curse, the pub owners decided to hang the chair from the ceiling, preventing anyone else from sitting in it. Today, the chair is displayed in a museum, far from the reach of any curious person who might want to test their luck. The Tomb of Tutankhamun, the Pharaoh's Curse. In 1922, archaeologist Howard Carter made one of the most important discoveries in history, the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, which had remained untouched for more than 3,000 years. But along with the young king's treasures, he may have also awakened a terrible force. Shortly after the tomb was opened, Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's sponsor, suddenly died of a mysterious infection. Coincidentally, at the exact moment of his death, all the lights in Cairo went out simultaneously. Other members of the team also met tragic fates. Arthur Mace, one of the archaeologists, died of poisoning. Richard Bethel, Carter's assistant, was found dead under suspicious circumstances, and Hugh Evelyn White, another excavation participant, committed suicide, leaving a note saying he was haunted by the spirits of the tomb. Many believe all of this was a consequence of the Pharaoh's curse, an ancient Egyptian legend stating that anyone who disturbed the rest of the dead would suffer terrible punishments. Coincidence or not, the events surrounding Tutankhamun's tomb remain one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Now I ask you, do you believe objects can carry negative energies? Have you ever received something that brought bad luck into your life? Tell us in the comments. And stay until the end of the video, because the last item on our list is the most dangerous of all, and you might already have one of these at home without knowing it. Scientific and psychological explanation is the curse in our minds. Now you may be wondering, do these objects truly bring bad luck, or is it all just in people's heads? Science has some explanations that might help us understand why so many believe in cursed gifts and the negative influence of certain objects. The power of the nocebo effect. Your brain could be your worst enemy. Many have heard of the placebo effect, where a harmless substance can cause real improvements simply because the person believes they will be healed. But few know about the nocebo effect, the dark side of this phenomenon. The nocebo effect occurs when a person believes something will harm them, and their own brain generates real physical symptoms. If someone receives a gift and believes it carries negative energy, their mind may start creating problems. Headaches, insomnia, anxiety, sudden bad luck, all can manifest in a real way, simply because the expectation was created. Research shows that when someone convinces themselves they are being affected by a negative force, their body can react in surprising ways. In a famous study, patients who were told that a harmless substance would cause nausea actually started vomiting, even though nothing chemical was causing it. The same can happen with objects people believe to be cursed. Can objects carry emotions? Invisible memories that influence our brain. Beyond the nocebo effect, there is another interesting factor: the emotional charge certain objects can hold. Have you ever entered a place and felt an inexplicable discomfort, or held an old object and had a strange feeling, as if it carried a dark history? This happens because the brain associates objects with past emotions. For example, if a person receives a jewel that belonged to someone who suffered tragedies, their subconscious may create negative connections with that item, even unconsciously. This discomfort can grow over time until the person truly believes the object is bringing them bad luck. Similarly, gifts like old mirrors, creepy-looking dolls, or even inherited clothes can carry memories that trigger bad feelings. The brain is a master at filling in gaps with stories, and when something seems suspicious, our mind can create narratives to justify the fear. The subconscious and the interpretation of bad events. Another essential psychological factor is humans' tendency to seek patterns and connections, even where none exist. This means that if you receive a gift and something bad happens days later, your brain may automatically link the two events, creating an illusion of causality. This is called confirmation bias. If you have heard that certain objects bring bad luck and then receive one and face a difficulty shortly after, Your brain will reinforce that belief. But in reality, life is full of ups and downs, and what seems like a cursed event may just be a coincidence. Now think carefully. Have you ever received a gift that seemed to carry a strange energy? Has something bad ever happened right after getting a suspicious gift? Leave your story in the comments, because we want to know how many people have experienced this. But don't leave yet. The last item on our list might be closer to you than you think, and many people have reported that it can destroy lives. How to protect yourself from dangerous gifts. Now that you know about objects that can bring bad luck and the scary stories behind them, an important question arises. What should you do if you receive a suspicious gift? If you have ever felt a chill when touching a strange object or noticed that your life started going downhill right after receiving something, stay alert. Here are some ways to protect yourself, how to cleanse the energy of suspicious objects. If you received a gift and feel that something is not right, don't panic. Many traditions claim that objects can carry negative energies, but they also say that it is possible to purify them. Here are some methods used over the centuries. Smudging with sacred herbs. Cultures around the world use the smoke of herbs to cleanse objects and environments of bad energies. Some powerful options include white sage, used by indigenous peoples to ward off negative energies. Rosemary strengthens spiritual protection. Rue, known for its ability to cut negative influences, simply light the dried herb, let the smoke surround the object, and visualize purification. Water and coarse salt. If the object allows, washing it with water and coarse salt can help neutralize bad energies. This method is widely used to discharge negative vibrations and protect against unwanted spiritual influences. Sunlight or moonlight. Exposing an object to sunlight can dissipate dense energies, while full moonlight is considered purifying in many traditions. Just leave the gift outdoors for a few hours. Protective crystals. Placing the object near crystals such as white quartz, black tourmaline, or amethyst can help absorb negativity and restore energetic balance. Prayers and positive intentions. If you believe in the power of the mind and spirituality, you can say a prayer or simply visualize the energy of the gift being purified. Faith and intention have a great impact on how we feel about certain objects. How to politely refuse a gift. We can't always accept everything we are offered. But how can you refuse a gift without causing conflicts or appearing rude? Here are some effective strategies. Thank them, but explain that you can't accept it. I really appreciate the gesture, but I have a personal rule of not accepting this type of gift. Say that you already have a similar item. This gift is very beautiful, but I already have one just like it and wouldn't want it to go to waste. Maybe someone else could make better use of it. Appeal to a personal belief. In my culture, we believe that certain gifts should be purchased rather than given, so I prefer not to accept it to avoid breaking this tradition. Suggest another way to show affection. Your gesture means a lot to me, but instead, I would love to share a special moment together. If the person insists, you can accept the gift and later donate or discard it if you feel it carries bad energy. What if you suspect a gift has a negative intention? Unfortunately, not all gifts are given with good intentions. If you feel that someone has offered you something with the aim of bringing bad luck, causing harm, or manipulating your energy, it is essential to act cautiously. Don't keep the gift in your house. If the object makes you uncomfortable, keeping it around will only increase your concern. Don't accept it directly into your hands. Some beliefs claim that direct contact transfers energy. If possible, ask them to place the gift on a table or bag before picking it up. Dispose of the object properly. Don't just throw it in the trash. Some practices recommend burying the object far from your home, throwing it into a river or stream if it's a material that won't harm the environment. Donating it if you no longer feel the negative energy in it. Perform an energy cleansing on yourself. If you feel that the negative energy remains, take a coarse salt bath, light a white candle, and visualize your protection. Conclusion: Do you believe in cursed gifts? Now that you know the hidden dangers behind certain gifts, here's the warning. Not every present brings happiness. Some can ruin lives. Whether through superstition, spiritual belief, or even psychology, the fact is that many people report drastic changes after receiving suspicious objects. And you? Have you ever received a gift that seemed to carry a strange energy? Have you ever had an unexplained experience with a mysterious object? Leave your story in the comments, as we want to hear your opinion. And remember, at the end of this video, we have a special gift for you, but this one you can accept without fear. Now that you've learned about the hidden dangers in certain gifts, it's essential to be mindful of what we accept. The energies around us can influence our lives in mysterious ways, and sometimes something seemingly innocent can change everything. Don't underestimate the power of a gift. It can be more than just an object. It can carry intentions, energies, and even curses from the giver. So be careful when accepting anything. Stay alert to the vibrations and intentions behind each gift, because not everything that glitters is gold. If you've ever had an experience with a gift that brought bad luck, or if you know a scary story about cursed gifts, share it with us in the comments. We want to hear your experiences and thoughts on this subject. Share this video with your friends and family so more people are aware of this hidden danger. The more people know, the more protected they will be. Don't let others fall into this trap, and remember, at the end of this video, we have a special gift for you, but this one you can accept without fear. Stay tuned and keep watching.